abusuafo yebo bibia kwa ba na yemfa bra mega TV and platform we eso MPP as a political party a better opposition ache because they are not ready to admit say omo ena omo say Ghana especially galamsey issues omo no omo ye den ema galamsey insensem no escalate in fact aginsemu e ukrum ha na anytime bia beti obu communicators ni bi no you can see say these people the kind of arrogance na omo exhibiting in abaimu and the kind of disrespect omo de ma Ghana for the days of their tenure no it is still there and nothing has what changed for that matter no MPP better no position at check if they are not ready to learn if they are not ready to accept their mistake Ora Asani Tano any other MPP communicator NDC communicator be clash on live TV. This is about say issue Ghana economy and the other stuff. In fact, uti in sema Senator no you be a bra na MPP for person omo eton Ghana ejapade documents any sa nyama niema no ono eno yo open pa okotwen sa asem di kan ba kane eba hoping ya obi adoye and the other communicators NDC for so mu a omutimi age Ghana efiri apamukafo yi ensamu meka apamukafo a I mean MPP sebi akromfo mu mu a mpese nka no mo fa Ghana as a bona fide property no etiye yi a mo yenti Asani Tano on UTV how osi edele with MPP communicator with so much arrogance and what pride yenti yekobe beto so
e wo dia ye hu ti afi ye wi ana ya ba be kan president asemo dia tudwan peni dwa wi ana nsu asante na no aye last achoan
me kana sad me hu se Ghana for omo wo adoye
pa ne mo na wo masi bi maye
under normal circumstances no anka ensese public na normal way at a point at BBS answer. These things no right one so can say factors be muka
factors be can yes
say it set you so nipa ensia ene tra ha se bebro ensia yes say the table ni bi so ye nye ye say boat e fa nipa miensa na wakofa ensia all these things nti aya nkrofo bi na say punish them for causing such things no normal nti yes ye ben ya famodie. But yes, let's say the appropriate authorities are so much massa you monitor na omo anko beyond because those are the areas as I asked them doing na isi.
Yeah.
Enti esremo mo obi an contribute to number na ya to job betumi akọ back akọ show video no. This are your number ni dadwa obetumi akọ contribute.
Asempa na mapa ma
no. Say 5 cedi so say 10 cedi so. Mresanti as the whole of the month na ye nyina betumi contribute.
There be patcho ye wi na ye wi.
Oh that be that.
I was say by Friday ni ye dey.
Yeah nyana sase ye betumi de bi akoba bi fufuro.
Ye bi be ko weja ha
na say. Na parliament crop BBC ansa na mo contribute akoto. Ye nyina duka da ya.
Yes, you are chopping stray bullets kaka.
On the substantive matter.
Yes, over yeah.
Matter we fidie so I can say over Kwabrame inter account the health minister. And yes, ofimi makachinti. But emrebi beba. I say health ministers and I say all ministerial portfolios. Omon transfer fibo. Emrebi beba ebia na onye health minister bim. Probably ebia na ya shift na kwa Greek near the Greek aba health whichever will be the case.
Okay.
The health sector and the general public ye be fino. I be can say anka ura Kwabrame inter account do ewo wa and I say ono na wo ye health minister anka wo do ha dada anka wa kan we dada anka wa ba dada. Yes, I'm not surprised, but I stand to be corrected. Please mo ntie me na mo fa nche me. The possibility say ebia NDC so the CEO mo ye bi da no ebia eno so ewo ho
the CEO
me kaba
all right
say aban ebe free aban mu a no mo pia nkrofo bebre akọ various sectors to bloat the your friend is saying the public purse. Said the buyer buying from no banner will have difficulties in finding the money to pay some microphone. I'm say politician and I say parties no so buy no yenjai because
osha omusheda and I say bia almost some mighty obeti so say ka a day cause my argument so 2008 and 2009 President Kufuor Fear Kunya so no ade be chairman akono sign a single spine no ema ebaye na sabre necessary Professor Mills kohwehwe sika debate ya because aban ye de aban ye nto aso nti enam bisa so ohwa omo sheda na omo nim so aban ye nto aso yakwa agreement ye gun kasesi esu a na abe pem sabre na ono nipa no sign be kase just unfortunate say me bra so ameko na wo ba nti I can't just leave it like that.
Professor Abu Apayo.
Okay.
Anti modern wom.
Okay.
Your home nkrofo verbally what can say we want to make a particular government ungovernable.
Oh really?
Right? Na semefa say NDC na wa abem and NPP na wa abem na watan ho emfe nwotwe. Na wo be call last minute. Na waso nkrofo bebre not just the health sector but various sectors. Waso omogum emfe santre na wotran ho no. DM partner na wo yentia at least want to me and distribute because nurses for ne nkrofo omo ewo ho ayem post omo egu ho da and sana ye bekwa ye san so asankrofo with the intention say e bia omenya vote free nti wo be say close to the end of the latter part of campaign na ya recruiting nkrofo either so through protocols or whatever it is near so moko various sector security one any nursing no more the campaign. Now how do you put the names of about 13,000 health sector workers na won to me emma clearance isika wo ho I be can say assume similar to the single span issue how can you single span the koye no the next government had no other option because the moment I can say you will not go by the agreement in our previous administration you will be seen as obia obae na abana atwam kona ya the papa na wo ba be say no.
Okay.
Enti Owura Kando has explained to nkrofo no reasons inti ama we nyina ache entama preambles ayede ba na ubisa kojo about students loan. We use the word validation. Because ghost names are those. The possibility say a baby be free abemo. Sector B, a be an president of court will name here. But sector B heads a bit to me a commuter no for conavo. No more did be a whole wash various sectors into a co-opposition court tiffy and triaka economy. This is the mentality of certain group of people, technocrat and beer or mushisha. Certain sensitive areas. Intina yanya ghost names are horrible. Ghost names are handy and to the point say we thought say Ghana card was going to be the game changer. Ghana card buy no afi kropo de adutwam.
Enye early days yetema Ghana card say ebi as a proper synchronization koswa ampa what we thought or what we think and bit me aye.
How many years do we want to wait for the synchronization? You can ujiri say on mind be so and can Ghana card ni yendum pempen so nobody can just go around it and do whatever they want. Ghana card buy Memphis say begia to say pay mo ye started say printing banks say they were not accepting it from the beginning because the synchronization had not happened the way omo pen.
But say 90
into what synchronization again are we looking at? Into anka government institutions no kropo na anka synchronization and say valid and strong, robust. Into say we need to, and it will not be only NDC abide. The next government that will come, CPP of course. There is the need for them to do validation of every the payroll abide isika as a taxpayer isika any editria because ye hu abre ya ti abre edienya ghost names every time. And so and can say nurse for no omo eti ase kakra but of course who will work for 10 good months na yentua oka very very stressful and pathetic but I am happy say at the end of the day no minister now can say 6,500 na aka no omo awie validation no anesa nti omo nso omo nsa ebeka omo katua. It is my advice to the current administration, say in the near future about the next 50 something years omo be fi abemo no omo kwa omo make sure say baby and the taxpayer sika betua ama obi no enya krogen engina brane a obia entumi embu ho ye first curve ye kan centrim ontumi mfa ho ako ho enwe krakase ye suban ne kro no a ye de bo edi na betting a ye hu bi ewo local governance committee ya omoati omototo nkrofo ani mehwe sada mete ho na mbisa say so what kind of people are we say wo wote ho ya appoint obi nipa no beto you feel say nipa no nim system no say de mo matra ho acha mo nim nti na mako naivo na mo fans kwa bi so I spend this cancer say mo spend and as mo me supply cancer say mo me supply na at the end of the day no new appointee bi na onim ho machi ono mba be yi ano we are advocating say nipa na o yeti train yote ho ne ye hole no also emra na o be yi ano be because say wote ho na say no ma we nyina happy it means probably you were incompetent nti SSS and panso ye twene ba no so be answer for you know there was aiding and abetting omo nyina du kadai omo ka ho and omo say this is how the system works a happy way GFA da this is how the system works nti say ne ye kɔ no na watran ho awe nhwehan emfie 9 emfie 8 na sa rot we nyina ba you say new one no ba no more refund who will pay it is the same taxpayers money ye hwe na nipa no kan ho ye di ye no just ono de otene baby edwene ho. I can assure you say as we speak there are many people who are at home and receiving salaries omunye adwuma omu sa adwuma no crop omu receive salary from no enye ade omunye adwuma no crop ho machi obi nso din ye de je ono so to baby onim say ne din crop ye de je nkofo omu awu ye de omu din hyehyem ana ye di ho sika ade a yesu ba born nti sa nkofo no ye che wo mo a I pray say the punishment will be so hard such that it be a best ever as deterrent to nkrofo mo so ba take it your friend said mantle nti honorable minister ye bo abaso but we pray and hope say your collaboration with the Ministry of Finance no e be wie payona nkodu say mra ne beso na bo na wa hye nurses for nurse akwati aso all right
la abochementi wo sa nurses mu kra na omo de so bo ne bo mo kese time am recruit omo ne ade no amwa papa would you say aban na ya de say what waso
anti ameda say no pedia ma mefa kwenye na menchia ne onuan ma ne omo ye adwuma na menchia menua ya ne CEO am say seminar course no justification bi ani ho a ye de mana ebeyi because ya sefem ya reho ya homete say nurse for be sorry anopa obi wo hono moti o yarefa o ye adwuma wo kolebu month bia oboka transportation about 800 cedis na bosome beso no onya ketua we nya bosome baako 10 I think say idea ya sefem ebi ni one more families or more mba omo kununim omo wo parent omo nso no depend omo ewo omo so and I think say the dikan was say the achelpa Emma nurses and midwives are about 13,500 of them are on my course at a team and I say a course situation more medium who say a rehosem say 50 January BC October you will meet 10 months no my juma into your moka sabe ye juma ni into your car even the motivation card be ye juma ni kra ni ho
na woni misade mo fa omo no hyehyeye
meba
mo digu akwam
meba ho inti motivation de ye adwuma no kra no eni ho na omo nso no adwuma no omo ye na adwuma sombo se omo gi amanfo nkwa inti no I think say justification bi eni ho inti ye de a chelpa be mo omo se aban ni intimante omo nani anhwe omo kosi se omo ye oye kire ansa na aban no adwen eba omo so se anese fo bi se wa ha omo ye adwuma 10 months 50 January be sisa abia ye ntu omo ka
there be say omo ye adwuma 10 months de ne omo fiti adwuma se December because October nya end there.
Oh, but say we are still in the month of October.
So January to September is 9 months. Inti any omo ye adwuma 9 months.
It's fine. Almost started December kana from December, January, February, March, besi October, and I say September, and still na ya asefem. Into na idea hard drain. Into na was say abai need to take responsibility. Now abai and I'm expecting say minister no dey a child park here be more say it's unfortunate say we see, but it's better late than never, like they say. Into yeah, they are child park be more, but I'm hoping say minister no bosh na wa she no be this. So now you see the misconception say NPP are buying pia and nurse fugu mu and say erukuti amanfo a yam make financial provisions for them and also salary provisions for them na yes and near pesi ema oman ye ungovernable ema NDC for. And I think say a misconception any basis be eti ameka say and say
okay
and nurse for a form adwuma nurse for nti say be marketers and I say ye recruit ewo sebi UTV ha na say ye recruit or any other public agency, nurses, doctors, midwives, teachers. Omo recruitment no enye regular recruitment and I say enye normal process recruitment. Uko school we are na doctors ni say o ye housemanship we are e was aban no etimi postil. Na say na aban ni be postil no ye free be financial clearance e was a Ministry of Finance for no edeba. Say nurse for ehwemi ani say o complete o online process na say o need financial clearance it is impossible say obeti menya posting akọ any public institution akọ ye adwuma ma aban. It is impossible. The major requirement and say na aban be posting ni say e was say unya financial clearance and then the aban ni make it a provision no is to stop some of say nyoma we say obeye adwuma ni entua oka nti na say na ye be postil no, which means say when your financial clearance from the Ministry of Finance say na teacher for so dey tie say na doctor for so dey tie nti no here a nurse for na omunye omu posting in 2024 no, which means say months earlier no na ya dia omunye omu financial clearance and sana omunya omu postings nti the financial clearance ni dey a integral part of sa process. Now in fact Andrea Minister Nankasa address a press conference no. In fact, the minister himself admitted, and I have the story here. Say the minister himself admitted, say nurses no idea omunya financial clearance in December. Until once omu financial clearance, which means that by that no make provision for them. Say omu betimi.
The minister charge couldn't na all this while no omusika nko. Minister
Nanche, but say afino cabinet man approval. Okay. Say yentua sa nurse for no eka. Into no, I think say enye deliberate or it is very sad or unfortunate for anybody to say abain dada ne person or man abain we ni ye ungovernable intina of our nurse for in any case anti ya obeje di say a nurse for e Ghana he nyina if it is a Ghana nya ye fa hodie 1957 basis abri only say nurse for ne midwives e Ghana he nia 125,000 per a population of over 35 million.
Okay.
Which means each nurse biano, and this data is from the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association of Bia Google Ninsabiti Maka. 125,000 nurses and midwives. In fact, as of 2020, now the total number of nurses and midwives just about 44,000. It do here about that down in the team beefy up your nurses and midwives because you see a population of 35 million. Now nurse from Ghana higher 125,000 per. Yes, if you to share data now, nurse nimba could be a share patient of over 1,500, which a workloader can say make us overburden crown a understatement. A idea hard drink. Doctor for Ghana henny na 11,600. The whole Ghana
over 35
million population. Into idea I hard dream.
Lawyer for so
you just about 11,000 into idea a hard you might see lawyer for crowd there. Then I mean person me lawyers be compare doctors and they say doctor for no they are saving lives. My professor been in na say uyi nyankopon free wa a doctor for and a yede and a wo honom. Into na doctor for the omu play a very critical role in your daily lives more. everybody needs a doctor. Every single person.
Because Friday call to the bar no afterwards no after that conversation be a cause say yeah producing more lawyers, doctors, engineers, any idea.
I mean, I know the argument. I think say you see a per time now you have this conversation. But Antia, on this same matter, when say there are about junior doctors and so on so complaining say in Chiomokai. I'm sure it's about to your notice.
Maybe come strike, but I think they are more assurance on which
Parliamentary Select Committee on Health and more. Say almost about 10 months almost salary junior doctors. In fact, in 2 legs apart from salary we housemanship. This is other students here national service doctors also here housemanship.
Okay.
E bin me we housemanship was here post mo mutimi be boa me agi nipa nkomo so ye post mo. And then ye post mo nya ne say omutimi nya financial clearance.
So intention is this is not the first time aban sisa ana aban owa ebiasida ye musa se eye den ne ma ne basa ye sika sem ya boso ana ye person ne sika nim se ye be fa adwuma ye fo atua wo muka because they be answer unemployment rate was sure.
Okay.
And enye se nkrofo ni nko school no mako ti sika na aban eni ana ye hia omo services ana se what really is the challenge?
Omo services need ye hia na minjin di so say a problem ye betima can say ye doctors na bibi because you see about unemployment our boss answer na abanye tissue beba abemo they campaigned on certain promises.
Okay.
I formed the foundation ti Ghana for the 2 abamom abai we crack actually say edwuma ba ko ai wo ho no nipa 3 na ye den ene be ye ai 24-hour economy omo so mo be ye 133 na so na ye ti he ene ye di hu komo say a doctor for kura o mawie school e wo say yetimi post o mo ko agi nipa nkwa kura no aban si scale ni ho nti na doctor for ni tifie. That is the reality. Wey anya matter of politics, it is the reality say a doctor for a school I get ready so mo be so mo man no omo gusu tifie
na scan bi wo na abansi
ni ho pacho mimi ni aban mu it is a scan bi wo ho I would not know. Okay. And I don't think say me nua kojo dan kwati hei obetima case ni bo say oba aban mu 10 months ye ntua na kaye aban ministers omo je salary eje omo allowances eje omo benefit nia President Mahama or the salaries. This is the salaries. And the aban workers, ministers of state, CEOs, they are all enjoying. No munia, munia, fresh. Oh, could you have a chance? You have the opportunity.
Now, or money concerns.
And the ministers near the idea, munia salaries. Except say the ministers want to tell us, mobile President Mahama has not been able to pay their ministers and deputy ministers. And I say President Mahama eniska our debate to CEOs neka except they want us to believe that. But so far the assumption is that aban impenifonia receive salaries. It is a ministers aban was called the two ministers car. I didn't know to mean to your next foreca.
Okay.
I didn't know to mean for a doctor for ejuma. I think that sometimes let's put the politics aside. And let's face the reality. Say this is the situation on the ground, and it is not my duty to fix it. It is not yakunama. Who Juma say obefa doctor for Juma. And yet, say His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Juma say obefa doctor for Juma. And also be to your next foreca. It is the job of the president, and it's the job of the health minister to make sure say such situations when you are solving. In fact, nimpo the na me we say anka yem bedroom pempen so say e was say a nurse for it me demonstration say aban we buy in the last 10 months no afi na aban we nya 10 months and yen do the position say a nurse for a demonstration but clearly no I think say because the medium of engagement or the channel or more the expression will give answers now block it. And so they didn't have any other option. That is my assumption.
So over the weeks or months, Minister Bishop. In fact, the recent one was just 2 weeks ago or something. Minister Bishop, to the extent that even Ebimo and Kasa Minister who ye Emma or more professional body near say or betray on even minister no. Pacho mom so then avenues grievances
if anka avenues are wabu boss winia nke ye ode resort nko momba street ne so
So I have blocked and so they had the access. Just that on my
okay. What I'm saying is that there was no proper engagement. There was no proper engagement because if there was any proper engagement, and would have prevented them from coming to the street. There are instances Edumeko baby ayo imagine some beko strike. In fact, even recently transport unions near the idea Edumeko piyo imagine some beko strike. Engagement timi koso. Ema yetimi ba negotiation table. Ema obi timi nya entiasie say me enko strike no. Na entiasie aye adwuma but clearly no negotiations na I break it down. In fact, media ubisa my honest opinion na. It seems to me, say, and Orameta Kando, or one of the people, I like their personalities, but it seems to me, say, in all humility, as a health minister, you must also so.
If you ask me, I'll say that I say,
me, okay. And I said, American, and yes, be a metano. But clearly, no here, send obedi health minister, they be a Ministry of Health, Beba News, Nimubia, and it is for obvious reasons. Say we are and only doctor for being in your confrontation a nurse for being a strike. In fact, yeah,
only doctor for being in your confrontation.
Oh, your Tamale teaching hospital confrontation by and also by matter. In fact, it be sense you Kolebu or so. And here social media, maybe you'll be a here social media pa.
Okay.
In fact, there was even a video Tama nurse for any drew Ministry of Health for no person who present or petition. They be say almost minister no mannerism ni demeanor. Na ense minister or sympathizing with the people. Almost say na minister na conducting
minister ya obeshia almost say me so my students that metimase nti choboy any omono.
And a man for say or here these are people they are suffering.
Was he not identifying with them that?
No, I don't think so.
I have been a student before. I know how it feels like.
You see, when a borders on, I took interest in sad demonstration on me because it borders on their rights.
Okay.
They have a right here. If they work, they have to be compensated for the work they do.
Okay.
It's their fundamental human right.
Okay.
And once they are not being compensated and now they are not being paid, it's a breach of their human rights. Until I took interest in the matter. If you are only the answer more yeah, with your permission, I'll read briefly. Or can say me say President Mahama echo UN or repeat or my speech be on a same. Now some more kind say President Mahama say. The slave trade, slave trade is the biggest crime against humanity. This is the words of President Mahama. Oka say slave trade is the biggest crime against humanity. And leader of Omo demonstration, they say, ene position Omo no change and change slave trade na President Mahama koka UN. Because the whole year Juma na binding to me to oka 10 months abinding in any amount, abinding farm one. Clearly no. Slave trade, they be no. It's in a by way clearly no. It's beginning to demonstrate. Say he doesn't a by way ne fa a mebno ho because a by way by the scorecard back when they say a mebno a form where you under the assumption and suspicion say or me NPP for the form where you the latter part of 2024 in Tino a mebno of over 60,000 upon money every argument. Because
due process because I remember last time Honorable Felix Bahana students be no national service at the Nediaba and yes be nipa no bisa say let her no modify no on family so that or the beko so be when you obey famwa nipa no say ya money letter into 10 ya no see ya so you see this is what we are talking about so the person was not properly recruited I know I age man obey 3 months you say your family where's your appointment letter there is no appointment letter
granted without admitting says Asani this may be isolated instances they may be isolated it is not possible say the persisted that is why
when we are done I'll give so you are saying that why if it happened
that is why incident in this year no I was of the opinion say I was thinking by setting up a committee issue based fact based committee say agency by agency yen interrogate kwanya ye fa so appoint omo terms of appointment say fa kwan papa so a ye be hu kwan de omo be fa so ebi num so wo hono because I also know people are legitimately GRA for adwuma ye yi omo afiri adwuma legitimately SNET any other agencies for omo adwuma ye yi omo afiri adwuma so there may be instances ebi num wo hono ma amfa kwan papa so but they are also it is also possible and in fact it is the reality that majority of them so efa kwan papa so but all what I'm saying is say In fact, Ghana,
somebody just sent this. My sister, bring your details much more. Make sure if you WhatsApp no Dino Agnes Ajo say hi, good morning, please, mommy. PBC has not. That means PBC workers have not been paid their salaries for 3 years.
The PBC challenge, the PBC challenge is also a challenger. Mete ho asem ebra wa ba. Monim say PBC na in fact omoka kankwana na agency no airbo. So I'm aware say there were challenges, but you see, I am not here to equate about dada and say. The point I'm making is that nurses and doctors are integral members of our society. And so if they have challenges, you bet me abwa aso ano. Equalization is a BC under NPP pens winti a BC say a man and corner. I think say
why the concentration on nurses and midwives say ejuma yenibia ye ejuma yenibia ketua fatan so say meaning so then the consent.
But the point I'm making,
why you not saying that ejuma ye phone na abandi omo.
I initially made the point say makasa that say you'll be right to say, oh yeah, Juma, you have to be compensated.
Okay.
But the point I'm making is that these are essential workers. Nurses and doctors are essential workers. It is essential workers. See, you can say share the scale of priority here. Here. But the nurses and doctors, nipa na or send a message no more PBC. Nipa na ka admit say nurses and doctors and go for here for society. Day in and day out, amount for deliver babies. Pregnant mothers deliver babies. Then ask him say yenya mbema wa ha. Ebia kojo dan kwa girlfriend ana ne side chick bi be koso kwa wo be ko na midwife bi ho. Say me minibi. Nti kojo dan kwa wo bi. Nti ebia okwo hospital say okwa ko wo na ofa ya wife na onu nso ne girlfriend bi koso kwa ko wo a.
Oba mo fa problem.
Ofa ya okay wife.
Waware.
Na say okwa ko wo a. Obeko hospital na midwife here.
So when you say mischievous person,
the mischieful. The reality.
Abo amane.
The reality.
Some no here.
Of fire issue this was on worry.
Me mo here on fire.
Interjecting me 3 times into the do so right of it's asema make nyane say abai we share bo so ba be ye 133
okay
nti adwuma nurse ni ba ko be ye no the thinking was that nurse for me and sign a day and I'm just giving you the data say a nurse for what Ghana understand
but hold on, nurses are running the 24 hours
but I just told you say
like essential
it is true but I've just told you say
very deficient
a nurse for near 125,000 in fact as of 2020 normally just 44,000 between 2020 to 2024 and it may pay about 125,000
okay
a share population of 30 million okay. It is a by ways a share but no more can say omo making sure say you benya workers bebre am more are serving various capacity. I'm also expecting say
so more employment
I'm also expecting say you be employing more nurses. 125,000 nurses is woefully inadequate if a nurse is to attend to 1,500 patients in his line of a line of duty. I think say problematic. As a nation we need to sit down and realize that we are deficient of nurses, we are deficient of doctors. Kakrane Wohon, we cannot handle them, we cannot maltreat them, we cannot let them work for 10 months and not be paid.
Thank you.
Mede manuisi, mini obabeka say. Mede manuisi kra, mini obabeka say.
25 minutes.
Se ne yere ne ba ni nua ba bi, ana ni nua ba ma bi, ana se sebe ne girlfriend bi ye nurse a, e no ye adwuma na 10 months into an account be manager adwuma no.
Thank you. Lawyer will be say lawyer no onu no ye A to Dr. Bawumia na we jani title back who mpacho kafra why. Lawyer so na ye A to Dr. Bawumia no. Mpacho into NPP communication team member A to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia made us any information. Kwadwo yes say cabinet has approved cabinet approved absorption and back pay of 6,200 teachers who have worked over 8 months without salary. Education Minister Nekasa. Na muso mubetu adenti na mwatina wasemonya financial clearance in India. Government ye continue so continue. Adenti na mwentu anka 3 months bikura 10 months ni 8 months no enoso.
Ya ma menchia menu anoma meni omo abadwumadi so. Ya.
Yes ko you.
Ni di kan no eye no kre se ye be fa obi adwuma mu na ebia bosumi baako bosumi mienu ni entua ne ka. It is quite worrying. If you say sister ya.
Yes ko you.
Ye adwuma ye o sori anopa na se mpo so be fa trotro a sika na be fa trotro no. Ukọ adwuma mu a obedidi. At least when the cross would be 2 times a day. And there are other things, sister ya. Wono I was say be provided for and with your immediate family, especially when one year where wabusu and for yonkofo woman say ye nuyen or ye adwuma ABCD. It is quite worrying say e be sisa so we be ye adwuma na sebe sika was an nsa eka no nsa anya den anka na ohwe saade ba yi for me I sympathize with the nurses na yemfa konya isonso na yemmo aye minister abaso. You know, Minister Akando one of the people in opposition emra na oye ranking member on the committee of health no utimu say na oye adwuma yie pa and me enya me wanwa say obefa sa aye ministerial position sister ya oguso a obon homodena or try say the health sector. And you know the health sector is one of the sensitive sectors ewo maimu na so ni na achi no wode niam agu akwamu hwe say eniam betoto na akwamu na aboa ama yapomuden nsam no sister ya asi ne kwan papa so na sister ya you see me wanwa papa sa enne yenya NPP ni abetena ha na anka wo se ode chawpa ade magana fo meye NPP ni na me ba o studio ha sa ya ka me de enkutodwe ebegu fam me de nsa sensa ya
waye den
apak Ghana fo chaw ni titiru anase fo mapa won chaw enso kwasi botwe obetena ha isabe ayampia nko ana oto onya nuhu bia enuhu a wankasa o flag bearer aye Dr. Mahmoud Baum yanya ya wo pachawa ebi mu se mo on pachawa ma ne ho mo pachawa mo mu na because omo de omo nya boni bi ono na aye boni no sa nuhu no na wo senka wunya na wo nso de chawpa e de magana fo hwe sister ya
yes coach
ya ka anase fo ensemi sister ya yi pachotie die pa
oyin me tie
so die you see ayasa na amawe ho bia be hye me kra mu mas ye nuanom mo di boni sei mo di boni wie ya mo betina ha na mo to ayampia
ko boni ni sei
ya emi kra tabu ha camera na betimi capture eni
esuadodo camera capture
where you the supposed clearance akwasi bochi please enya iPhone 17 assembly
the map prints o person on project was screen
me wi mesenya man
no
ati ya do hu ni phone no
hwe akwasi bochi wa betina ha the supposed clearance na o ka ho asem no enu ni ne pacho nyaboche clearance made by July 2024 July 2024 mpacho
okay
and also financial clearance.
Okay.
Please refer to blah blah blah. Almost said they were hiring 15,000 so-called nurses or so. Then Obabedu Asiano 0.7. And also please note that the financial clearance expires on 31st December 2024 and cannot be used thereafter. It is our financial clearance way. There was an expiration date on the financial clearance.
But your I want to try.
Me pacho ayabena osaya sare. A former deputy minister for a friends and finance,
okay,
or signing on behalf of your friends and the minister. So Ministry of Finance. Into your director, I think health.
So
that director, the health ministry.
The health ministry.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sister.
Now usually no na financial clearance na expiration date was
good question. Hold on. It's not in perpetuity. Name some young ones what jobs me ba say who sika de to ho no mo e de share budget mu a anka nya na sanke ya ba yi a afei na mo pe mo ayemua ma nurse fo o mo pe clearance afi ho. It's what for nipa.
It's 2024 budget him.
Many o ma fan
then now sure July or expire December.
So finance ministry atro or the aba or the baby a I was here they share a year budget in him. That's the last quarter budget. And no man fan share the budget in him. It's a finance health ministry and to me I implement it. And that is why we find ourselves where we are. It's also you know we did
budget na yearly unless say election year now.
So
buying the just the first quarter for the
last quarter or last quarter it be better for the next year you be expend
appropriation
no the ready budget moving into the next year no that will be expended. It will show we okay say
kojo nya buteto bo asichem ye nim say it say October year ye see finance minister be next year budget
exactly
ya dream no a year budget just that in the middle of the year obekwa koma mid year
budget review
say budget na me year no for afe no say na ya pema kodure bia revenue ye nsa anka aha short force ni ye nya mo sika ye nya mo sika make it surplus
so budget now or the because so at forcing or parliament and check.
Yes.
And there are some supplementary a year budget do or never do or the best say anyway never sank here to me and but moving forward the shame a buying will make allocation of funds to make sure say Sani will be to me and I. It is our financial clearance here by
now any 2024 budget
Oman capture.
However,
mama clearance
supplementary budget omuka so mu de behim
and o ma ho clearance
but mu buy so enimu
bibia sa enim and no say clearance na expire on the 31st. It happens at the time you take you over no this clearance had expired and no provisions was made for this. So sister ya anything America say was here no ba pacha o me pacha wa betena on fare Ghana for family ma Ghana
based on what clearance and what letter minister next month
minister and the cabinet
okay
and a cabinet ama approval
into all cabinet na se foforo ana
no o sha se foforo o sha process na se foforo and on the cabinet ama approval and a ministry of finance ama clearance after the approval. And sister ya
yes
also yo a doctor for omo ewie yi ye na emfa o madwuma na say ni say star mpacho tie ni minister aye Minta Akano na e ka say we a graphic online or say Mr. Akano said the delayed salary issue of a batch of 883 medical house officers who started their house job in 2024 has been resolved in 2024. Early 2024 na you no mo share eyi na se when to me and you ka yes me no kan wasem ano me no kan wasem ano
2024
it was in July 2024 o man to me and you ka e be sin eye say ya bai ana sa issue no and also kwabena Minta Akano minister or say it has been what it has been recruitment it won I was saying ka obai wo da eye kwabena Minta Akano ni NDC joma ama ban wo da ya say yet me a resolve this issue. Say how you no sufriwa. Or say about 800 medical doctors who had finished their housemanship were still at home without clearance. That was 2024 no. Mama say for na clearance. Eso ye na ba yi. Approval la. Your friend say cabinet approve this ya. Cabinet approve sika for 17,000 health workers. Eti eneye nuano mo a omo ye health workers a omo wie eye school ebi mu wie 2017 ebi mu wie 2018 19 e dey ba aban dada no a etwa mu ba ye no wo ma mo financial clearance am ya mfa won lista ya ene o mate den atadwe efi say aban ya ba John Dramani Mahama aban am approve our cabinet clearance aba 17,000 health workers mi aba ye ba be fa saa for ni na adwuma and 17,000 no it includes a pharmacist, it includes a doctors, it includes a nurses, anyone near wo ye health adwuma e wo Ghana ha nyina no ye ba be form adwuma mu enunti na make say anka ni papa mu ye nua no mo ba ha no e wo senka wo de na ase ma e dwoma ama amamu na mo pa Ghana for chew say emudi yo mabro saya
minister ase foforo fortunately minister ba be February March o e dia na ama na chesa no na sika na eni ho anano oto ne bo ase ahwe nkrata mu
sister ya you see what be fa amamu foforo ye do akọ ministry. Look, I can tell you maybe I'm here as a deputy CEO, right? I cannot say for the past 7 months matna ho as a deputy CEO no minim bibia e wo e your friends and student loan ho.
Okay,
we are still learning and krata na doso. You may have to take your time say you won't make any decision e dey your mind no be ko e ye baby a yi o mind free wa anya den enye if it's a one way na ko take decision bi na say unim obi John Dramani Muhammad da o so wa be take decision a dey your mind no ensa be ko hye bibia ase a disika sem bi be fa ketase no wa hwe obe ma Ghana mra ne wa de edi it's minister na also taking the time o hwe na o hwe nkrata mu no hunu say kwan we ne de fa so be de be yi no de aide o de afa so enunti ana it take some bit of a time because obi John Dramani Muhammad ye na anim say wono no so obai so bebie enyuma ma Ghana for aide nya bia ye and enyuma no na no ka say 24-hour economy aye buy na month hwe he ko Ghana Port and Harbour ko na kwhwe and me no ka say 24-hour economy is going on me no ka say ko DVL na nse ya nwan kasa mo sister aye station e wo aye City FM Umaru Sanda what the aye video ni pictures beto ho a ko DVL I think a dental branch wo bomb aba so say 24-hour economy no a wo de aba no e beboa ama Ghana for say ye ho ahan aye nkoso line e wo aye DVL in the friends enjoying the daytime ko aye ba bia minu akwasi aye mensa wo Peter kwasi mensa aye shipyard ena me no kase na adwuma me ne nam na ode kire me say akwadwo he wo mo ba aye ship mi wadwuma anadwu ya ana omumu so wo ye wadwuma. So the 24-hour economy is really on course.
Thank you, Kojo.
Sister ya, I was say, obi a ye Ghana ni bia no, oba ban we apaso. If you say, oh, sister Ambacho, mami fancy, or your 24 minutes, mami fancy, me DC. No, me ye 20 minutes. Until my do 15 after 5, mami. It is there. Obi a ye Ghana ni bia no asebi o man no empuntuo enne ne niam o ye na da wakoma so no. E wo so de na ase na wo ya ban a abai wo boy aba so fi se aban ya hyeda se deliberately what the niam egu akwa mu abeboa ama man no afa ne ntoma pae den e de afira na mabulu bebre nu anya adwuma aye den aye enti na me no ka sei ukọ eye yenua erekaje e hono mu a e mabulu a adwuma wura ya fa wo mo aye ma wo mo dwetire na mo de ahye wo adwuma mu no enya de ketwa ukọ national apprenticeship program a e mabulu a ya fa mo aye de wo quantity yemu ni aboa ni asset wo up obi wie ntete ye no a ya mo musika de atoa wo adwuma so e bie shops ama wo no sister ya enya de ya ade ketwa yenum na ya den e koso a hwese adwuma beba omamu na Ghana fo enya biaye na menua kwasibotwe wono so enya biaye na wo ba ma na busuafo ene won ya woka ho so enya biaye den aye na sister ya se ye nyina koso ye na eboa ama Ghana no ba bia ye wo no sebe yetimi efiri ba bia ye wo no e kompempen so aye na ehwe a e de eye anigye e de eye ye friend say akomatoyem ene be dey ebeba amina ho atoyista
Mamika Facebook comments Kakropoku Kwesi Prince Madam ya telling it says that they should pay personal since May to September. I have not received my allowance. NSS or NSC National Service Authority. Well, now they are an authority. They are the ones you are referring to. Kwesi mentions such people don't make Kwesi chire o de why na one nya adwen na waka o de na me read you de no amount. Bismarck Danso only said cancel, and didn't add anything. Emmanuel Saka 2028 election, the NDC has no message again. Eric Kebwache Obaya, did you know that, or do you know that research has shown that In the history of Ghana, NDC is the only political party that has consistently struggled to pay workers since independence, despite claiming to have received funds from the Gold Board exceeding the amount obtained from the IMF. So where is the money? In fact, they have never awarded any new project contracts. They are not paying workers. So where is the money? Budget for the presidency too is too much, which is unprecedented. Cost of living is too much. We can't pay our rent. Drivers have started increasing fares. Example is your hometown. You know my hometown already. Okay. Dreamfield drivers have increased their fares. You can call right now to find out. Obaya, I was there last week. Okay. Abdo, Debbie Abdo, Zakaditina Motoni, Amunye Finia. Asemo. Steve Adams, yeah, the budget was read in November 2024, but no provision was made for this financial clearance. Note also that the November 2024 budget was never approved before the last parliament expired. Okay, Steve, and so dear, no. Asari Anthony, still NPP doesn't have shame, but continue to lie. Benny West says, we the people are not so and so. We see, we hear, and we remember. We expect transparency, accountability, and actions that will benefit the nation. Let's work together for a better Ghana where everyone has opportunity and prosperity. We demand good governance, not empty promises. The NDC guy should respect us. Okay. Comments on pillar 2. Dr. Bomia is the best to lead NPP party. My fellow delegates, let's vote for him. And Emmanuel Sak again, please pay our nurses. You promised them, so fix it. Say, and no come on yedi ana. All right. Inti modia kakrana modia bay and amasha making can be more no monswa or muton data meaning baby or munyasa data ni free. Inti yebeko ye next one so. Your next one no is oral yielding results, is oral working. Oral or say SB gift your worry charge 650 million Ghana cedis, ghost names and fraud scandal. Daily Guide, $2 million SkyTrain trial. Amir confused counsel withdraws from the case. No. As you see at the mama meniate 11 crabo into no say 5 minutes. Lawyer Kwesi Boche is oral yielding results. Now we see oral no. Did the say, but here we are. Ena Oma charge former National Service Authority Executive Director and Deputy Bakwe.
That's it, baby. Answer number oral is my for 1 minute in cleanse and be a.
Since I'm sure time 11:1.
Just 1 minute. Did kind on the claim that financial clearance, are expired. No, every financial clearance is for a specific period. Internet you be a window no for about 6 months. Say the processes, the validation, BB also yebi and also ultimately. There is no financial clearance in perpetuity. Say down kwa.
Indeed, they expired December.
Even for nurses.
Na say December no na kwabramita kando ni hose minister.
Asem kana meka. Government is a continuing process. And what's the kwabramita kando? Any financial clearance na sana wafa nurses for nedjuma. But just what the American say. A process and next for once or maybe school no. Say I buying a make provision more motivation or kind lecture in July now buying allocated 48 million na. So and then a financial clearance or Mudinya to employ 13,500 nurses and midwives in July. And the process started in July, ended in August, and the nurses were recruited in December. In the almost year 4 in December, almost started almost for 10 months. I was out by way by financial clearance no munya entire they have to be paid. In December 2024. So the matter of public knowledge. They have to be paid. The point is that you see,
so much Juma say December. Then December and the 31st, no man receive your first month salary.
And America say it is not a matter of say me near by. So if you ask me that internet 31st December, but we all know say within the period of December 2024, this government or this country was in a transition period. We were in a transition period. And in that transition period, no, so they have caused the reason in Tia Abia Omenia.
Are you serious?
But the fact Kojo danko okasa metie di man interject back okra.
Why you 1 minute of the 5 minutes? I won't ask anything about that again.
The fact is that abai that dane mo financial clearance. The second fact is that abai we ne yi ne niam nurses and midwives are omuntu omoka nti no omuntu omoka no omunja explanation and kasa dodo na omoka no. Now on oral, I think say the entire oral no it's a schema NDC for no omo opposition no normal person omo use the branded the previous or another appointees of President Akufo-Addo say omo ye akromfo oral no media so far from their mehu any nsem ni bi wo hono ma media chire no honorable says he been give to why issues ne ka de minkom but the work court that na me hu no me hu ni say oral no ya ye say
hold on aden na enu momu afi ni a charge omo no wonko no
self na ya charge omo
that no ko fa contempt baba ya wa wu
me nko contempt say nyama me nko contempt ho but didn't am say me nkomu ni say afi na age no I issue the charge sheet I be court agin crofo ni plea so me guilty and no munye guilty until say age ni be disclosures or then a dance ne ensema or person ogina so de bo omokwa adu baba ni no we cannot say age no good case and I say only good case it the meti maka ho asem ne dia age na nkasa ye disclosures a dance ya ogina so a de prosecute omo no de ababonten a age yi obe prosecute obi a oba media mu be kan ensema a waka na ne ne de beto sanie so aka ho asem age na meka say dia afi a give to why mo de odi abe dia me nya hu age ni disclosures obeye nti na cannot say age no case and I say age ni any case
okay
but the court that or prosecuted to say
or case only case credit say ye di asem but the fact that ora nation say well like bibi eni but enen no wenya bibi enya evidence or ka say me di way no
evidence no
but only evidence why would you go and embarrass?
That is why I am saying say that's what I'm saying say there are matters in court me di actually about oral from evidence now it will be very difficult for the AG to secure any prosecution. Because on NSSR the yenya
secure conviction and not prosecution.
To secure conviction. Enti make say NSSR say yenya botre na AG ni nya disclosures. Or nya disclosures obi abehu asem na open court obi abehu AG ni evidence or say wonti or the prosecutor prosecution ye na court yenya ni media so. Enti say o dance ye tia obi Umfasa mi adansi no enkodan press center o de bekwa kodan court. That is why many of us are against the approach of oral. Obi ani wo ya against say obi afọma ni sika emiyemfa ne mfambra kwan so. Ye na ye support say ade no. But the attempt say obi afọma ni sika ye be gu nipa ne ho fi ye be embarrassing nipa ne kran sa na ye di nipa na kwa kopie court. Obe ka ya kob na dubu ahia asemi ye ho press conference ka say abrantie no ne yere ya kronfo o mewi o mani sika akotoka ene den ene okokota there is no evidence kura kire say owi o mani sika de koto dan ya na bi. That's what I'm telling you say based on the disclosures of the Attorney General then we can determine whether or not there is any assembly wo honoma ye betime gina so edi ageli sankofo na say ye betime gina so dia akase sankofo no o ma for mani sika no mo fa o mani sika but orally o mo ye ni operation recover all the loot to end up with operation recover nothing. I see. Because clearly no already aban we na aban we ni more interested in using oral as a PR stunt say ye fan kan gu aban dada nkrofo no enimase omoko quarter to even class say so omo be prove your case na some no court intimi in details but to prove their case is becoming a challenge for them. That is why Dominica in your press conference that's why Dominica
lawyer there but
once a court process and they say court process you cannot surprise anybody.
Okay.
There is a process that your friend disclosures.
Okay.
You do disclosures now. All prosecution or send a constitutional canon. I was say una umiti the constitutional threshold of proving the guilt of the accused person beyond every reasonable doubt. Say bonina nipa na ye bia na wo say utimi exhibit and also ultimate prove am nipa ne di boni beyond any doubt bia but Attorney General we no clearly no and American from the hu any sema me di akire oral cases ni bia me di akire no it will be very difficult for the AG to meet that threshold but it is very easy for the AG to come into the media to make it look like say nipa no aye then we di boni number two
Ora and the results.
Results when I yield. Why you are prosecuting because of Ora, Pacho?
Okay.
Maybe I'm not me.
Ora is not yielding.
Let me say me a question. Why you are prosecuting no? Sa pepe, but ebi a me no ebi a nyama ni bi wo no ma minim. Say ebi a Ora na yield the result say you convict asumeti a no benti. Me nya tie. But the American ni ane say Ora na ban no e dey go NPP4. E pese dey go NPP4 enimase. E pese dey create perception. Say amanfo ewieska in abanda da no. Enti yemfa scheme membra, yemfa scheme no. But you see, yeah, me dem no see no. The American yan says so be a wies can find from bra kwan so. Nipa no want a right of presumption of innocence. Yes, you say nipa no ne ho so until say court e be dia tum say we di bone. Number 2, nipa no the right to say obi defend ne ho. Enti no e ma yen ne say because these persons are political persons and I say because Ora is a political promise intino. We convict the people in the media, we prosecute them in the media, convict them in the media before we take them to court. And then Asema Attorney General they are down in court after 10 months. You are your press conference back 3 and after NSS assembly. There is a clear distinction between say Omagana for update and they say convicting microphone with media name. In fact, in instances of Cabinet Duba they no your press conference no. Attorney General ne can say hesenya bonia abrante ne yiri ne dina se wamba for plea bargain here de no ko twins awo mo beba no abo akokra nti ono de opeso okachi abrante ne se ombra for plea bargain Attorney General your press conference ka san sem ni nia eti ni se there be on call for plea bargain because otusu se ondi boni bia eti se oti baby na utie me de wadama me de manusi no utie me de manusi no utie Attorney General now hwe the posting of abai we ni emu nkrofo na agenda ne clear say yema Ghana for ehu anase yema Ghana for enya perception say abanda da for no o me wiska but that is not what it is.
Kojo sentisa adentina mo beyesa. Yeah. Politics.
That's it. Ya na di kan no. Obeka ya emra na ye opposition no na ye ba ye betena me no mi no ye di nkomoda. In fact there were a lot of issues ayetena ha e ka ho asem say ye nua no mafa kwati kwan so sabe ebo Ghana krom. And most of them, yeah, you can want some, me kaise a baby abasi atwam. Ukura de obi fu ya. O se ne ye koso no enye.
Hey,
now to here. So a video ukura me post here.
Video be.
Dey ba dey na
koso. Video bi. Do se ne ye koso mamu enye. Ye cancel
mo person shower no.
Oh, nyabote. Ye cancel mo person.
This me ha.
Dey say me shower no.
Ma shoke.
O patch say mo fo bokro no aban.
Ya mo ye no kura no. Ne ye wo ya ne say ye kan omo mpese omo be me yaka na omo ye omo se tintintinti ye call ma asem a na omo de say omo so bankrofo and UTV ya omo so bankrofo
I don't remember that.
No, you criticize them a lot of times. Na me say you criticize them a lot of times.
That's a job. What's the problem with that? That's a job. And to defend the government how defend their
so we criticize you. What's your problem? What's your say?
Now how you say you also you no near you.
I mean, sister,
yes.
I mean, you can't opposition, say, and we are John Dramani Mahama, and they make his promise. Say, quite bemu na se Ghana for a year. Na omo to Obama ye near the Ghana Banyanwa. Ye the BB a friend operation recover all loot.
Okay.
And Ghana for no do no edit to me say operation recover all loot no ebeboa. Ama ban na down 1 year. E bi bone ebi omonsa ebo aban epesimu eyi Ghana sika no emra ene omo ayeden akon ahye pepepe next ya ye wie eya abatu yi a ewi John Dramani Mahama ansakura no a yesu ani no ana wofa enipa enum bia wo se won na won hwe eye operation cover all loot no won da no na won hwe na won je eye issues ni na famra yem fama Attorney General saya ye gigi issues ni na no ye de ma Attorney General ba out abecheche issues nim amenne ne yate ne say okọ national service eye scheme a ne ekọ so wo ho no sister ya Attorney General timi de akọ eye court a ya bo wo ko adu a wo mo kọ akogina mra nim na mra ne o makọ ahye na sister ya empanyifo se adu amanfo so ane ya kaya enu nti ye ka eye NSS nsemi obi ti fie obi say NSS nsem no kra no ene de sisters ya NSS nsem ni na no say
nsem no okoto
obakaya me pacho obakaya yewura bawumia ekọ national service eye scheme wokọ mo akache enu mu kodi nkomo mbra na mo so mo introduce a certain IT systems according to them na omo say omo de boga na ho ban send ya manfo bi ntimi na boye nkro no enu ti
Ghana card
no so enya no omo so system ya omo de fast ball kro no
okay
enu omo de sa system ne e baaye no
he cannot say system on fast ball kro anti ya or system no masa so do ball na betre ni enko wa don say so bi amo na betre ni baby wa don say so bi amo you are not to teach us how to say
uchewa wa mama kwa boda kama
asema me pesa mechanic say anti ya me mama na kasa but me mama no kwan mani twan tron fa doctor ba me wan dey me mama kwan
jinzo abre jinzo
kawasem
krista ha bibi egun
so pacho seniye
edio
ni ameka ne say
okay
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ye na enim na mo bon abasomo so digitalization ma anya sa nomka until on the 1st of February 2022
okay.
Dr. Bawumia ko National Service Authority ekosia the then Director General and the Deputy Director General asamwa Dr. Bawumia ekan na ni sayati ni ye wa wo ye ka asamwa wa betena hanom na wo kaka ne wo ye den ope o ko GBC online
ko jenu ya wan dia
me pacho enya wo eye brai me pacho tieni o say o ko GBC online Anomo publisher yes store say the use of technology in just one institution has saved us 112 million Ghana cedi, and if this is replicated in more institutions in the public sector, the nation will be saving millions of cedis, especially in the verification of workers before the payment of compensation. He noted. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia noted. Sasa mwe kwa national service pachofa to na men kama so bo ada relax go online GBC online go online GBC online stop that GBC but before I then go to GBC your phone go to GBC online mama your reference please stop that please stop that
so kojo oko share no more
so
I'm reading from CNR City Newsroom. 2nd February 2022. Bawumia optimistic digitalization will prevent fraudulent activities and losses. The Vice President Dr. Bawumia is very optimistic about getting rid of fraudsters in public institutions through government digitalization drive. But it doesn't say that on no the buy.
About the friends
speaking at a meeting with management of the National Service Scheme then on Monday, January 31st, 2022 or January 31, after paying a surprise visit to their office, Dr. Bawumia said more will be done to rid the public service of fraudsters. Yes. He said the NSS were able to achieve this due to the introduction of metric app, which combines facial recognition technology and identity card checks for verifications and validation. Quote, the digitalization has proven to be very effective. You and your partners are saving this country so far about 112 million Ghana cedis.
Yes.
That is massive. That is really massive. And this is just one institution. Now, if you replicate this in about 10 institutions, you are talking about almost $1 billion. And what about the whole public sector? He quizzed. So what's the point?
Dr. Bawumia, the digital man, Echo NSA, National Service Authority, Echo G2 say, Sadia no we introduce no is saving the Ghanaian a year 112 million a year Ghana cedi, and Sadia also is saving 112 million Ghana cedi. Ended up duping us to the tune of over about 200 million a year Ghana cedis, sister. And you see, oh please stop that. No, stop that. You see,
so sister, said your person and say omuna argument at the no question or
digitalization man. Also be digital
the coming.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say everything digital piano or no Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and they said it. And Mahmoud Nak said he is a digital man. He introduced all the digital in this country. And you see, also if we replicate this our other institutions, we are going to save the country a lot. And this adeɛ baako a ɛnwa wane sɛ ɛmra ɛbɛfa Ghana banya and a doctor to force and cast dabi and was say ye auditing of a national service for a form and the payroll. So I be say ye head a count in year no na 81,885 a national service personnel. One more annual national service bia na mom ye bi omudi ahia ketua homam na won no odi hyemu a ɛyɛ bosumi bia na etua musika ɛde ma free a wɔn nya dwuma bia. Sister ya wo no so eto nkyanya adeɛ baako a yɛnua no fa so de ball ɛyɛ ɔman ne kro no through the national service ɛyɛ scheme yɛnua ɛyɛ gift ɔware nipa sister ya tiemio adeɛ baako ɛyɛ ne sɛ what the national service akatua no a yɛde betua nkwala no sika no ekosi a wo akɔgye besia ɛwɔ bank hɔ sɛ ɛyɛ ɔmoma ɛyɛ TV ɔmoma fridge ɔmoma say on high ɛyɛ purchase eti yɛ de saa nneɛma yi abesi awa moma yɛ sika na ɔmodi sika kogu wɔ account mu a sister ya ɔmodi sika no free hwɛ yɛnua
ɔnse baby a no is no problem no so ɔmse ɔmodi nfi asase no nsafe na ekɔkɔ asa wadi abu awi dada thank you wo qualify ne
sister ya adeɛ baako a memetena se bi a mente ase na sister ya menim sɛ me my national president pay.
Oh sir.
Oh my national president pay. Adia ba ko mente ase ne say. Sister ya tie bi o.
Me too, bra.
Aye director general of national service. You say you post enkrofo e de ma national service no ma koye atuhu achadwuma. You post enkrofo a director general no so bi abankrofo a you post am so mo koye adwuma national service o kan bi.
Yeah, post so on so national
service personnel.
I think we university.
National service personnel.
I see.
Now you posting you no koye e-switch a card. Who's a national service you through e-switch. It is say you posting as national service personnel. Be a director general no. O say Sabre no. Be a director general no. You see you posting director general you posting so a national service personnel. And no koye e-switch card style. E-switch card director general koye no. Ye kwakọ check e-switch card no so ya na sika ye tuagu e-switch card no so 8,256,000 Ghana cedi sika ya tuagu director general ni e-switch card so se oye national service eye personnel na sa kro no we sister ya utimi hwenya mianim eye Ghana bonense director general bosu bi aban tu awka uji fuel allowance uji maintenance allowance uji gate friend say watchman allowance uji rent allowance sa bia we na etu ni na sister ya ni na no anso ama utimi ni posting as national service eye personnel esa akodi sika we edigu yi switch so a mmofra no kra no boso me no beso na sika ni bi kra na ye de ayeden ye de atuam and we no na ye de ko so sister ya ade ba ko eji sanka ne say yɛnuanom national service ɛyɛ directors na no mo ho no gift your ware ne nkrofo me omo ye ne se ombe engage wo so ye be fa as vendor ne mom ye betua sika na dia fa wo ye be yusu wa yi ne tua sika na dia fa wo line so ye tua de fa so na wakoyi na de ayɛ wo de abere yen eti wo mo tam ɛyɛ Ghana sika national service sika no mo tua de ato ɛyɛ suppose ɛyɛ vendor na account mu o mo tua de tu wi a no ma fatire afa fitire akọ vendor no ho on sika no etua ma no ye ba baje ade na wa pe kakra de ama vendor no na mo so ama sika no bum na mo de akoso mu fie ene o mabusu o ma ye den o ma sika no ase na kwaksta ya sa nyema we nyina kroso anda eye president Akufo-Addo e wo Ghana ha eno ba kai na ye beto aba no ana media foundation for West Africa ekoye sa hwehwemu ye ode ade beto dwa sa ya na me ye hwe bi mu no se anka ban no aye minded of fighting corruption no anka kwanyasa bia so anka befa saa asem no be adwa no won a onkodi saa ensamone no saya ye dem befa mra kwan so no aye aban no ampa mu a wan fa wo man fa mra kwan so because dem fa no corruption nya de a wo no wo hwese wo be ko atia if it's a President Kufuor, he was accused of being the chief clearing agent in this country. And unti ana sa akro ni wo boy ya and dem no ka say o matumi awia Ghana sika agent e ka so ma fa Ghana sika more than 200 million a Ghana cedi. Hwenkola na tete fam munya e dex so hwenkola wayek plan ya de mo ka na ban no ntimi we entua na nipa miensa etimi fa sa sika we sabe edi asa na kwa esa ya me dwe ne se sa sika no a omudi ye no enye ye director general ne deputy nkwan edi ye mini nsusu ye medwe se empanyinifobia na mo Flagstaff house enso ka ho e be sika ni bi no mo tue sika ni bi mom because enye sa sister answer no for ka be nti me ba cho enye wakasa wie ujani mi kasa wie na opeso so mbe why me kasa se no bi ogusu opposition down sister ya ne ye kan se aban we dia why na adwen say he will fight corruption tinansi o man pen John Dramani mama ka say even yen ye wa ba mu sisi ye wo agencies ni state agencies
but I'm for say has a match wo ho because to say the lawyer about your question will be say ora no sa 9 months or 10 months in one pan waiting me prosecuting AC
say they are prosecuting AC in like just 9 months. And also first your investigation now we evidence send me enquire say oba kokko do court na unkura adanse dey bia so we need to get all the evidence we to be a court ni aye dey let's 15 minutes what is this we secure conviction am Ghana for say it me secure conviction ma Ghana for enu ne hia na sika no a aye nuanom no sabe o ma fa ko gum pass a o ma wia no yetimi aja ma Ghana for na e dey abo Ghana ho bra
ama Ghana afa to offer out analyze NPP NDC any fighting corruption ni orama me wati
so no don't say kojo
yes so that is it enti wutie conversation na utimi hu ba bia o mu ye den o mu efri eba utie enkomodidie na utimi hu se MPP ni no de kra de o makwan yo de bia be hu se issues bi ekoso woto ewo TV and radio station no na MPP ni no na waje agina mo na MPP ni no na waye den waje agina mo wombreko a onim pefe se asema okan enye asem a wesen ko eden oka ewo TV so but yes still because of politics because of cheap politics agana ye ntino na still na we decide say obedi ntro we decide say onje no kware entum na obe defend the political party MPP makachire NDC for and Messia can be Yura Attorney General Dominic Awitanga and as Bibisa Monfanchem ni dini di mamoni ya enye crime because obiani ni din obinsu din so de esebi ubona wamboni ya enye news what asem Yura Dominic Ayine ora yesra oni omoka ni saying the chief justice na encha omo beba no mo make sure say sankofo we no MPP nkofo we no will be arrested aka kire mo nka by now omo e busy o court nka omo ni anu omo de eden omo de kasa that is the fact omo e busy o court nka by now omo ni anu omo de kasa o that is the issue but because of say ene ye je omo no mo ni nam kurum ha MPP fo ago niema mu amomo ena obi aye de ope how many of you ena and I say how many times ena this year this year since I achieved win to me, Ashanti regional chairman the NPP. How many times anyone say win to me? Kasa. Said the first or yen in Niema. Said the first we see canning some. Said the first we see a year Niema. And then Muhunisa. A dientia, are you busy or court? Oh, why are you busy or court? That is the final product. Ain't it? So be a busy or court. Na sikano mwedino. Omo sha say omo retrieve. I don't think so on time about TV so. I don't think so on time about radio so. I be making noise. And that is the fact. That is the fact. If they are busy, I mean, they be no multi court. They be no more court. They be no more defend your mama. I don't think just Uncle Foy will get that enough time to come to life on TV and lie. Because some people for the multimillion and throw. And I've told you on countless occasions. Just NDC for man she na man setting ya. NPP for the intro ever to Ghana 14 said the 2015, 2016, 2014, 2013. Omo di ye mono. Omo e di intro ebe chichira to Ghana 14 because of so omo pese Bawumia be the president. And I've told you say Bawumia no, he comes nowhere close to presidency because of the impunity. Because of what? The impunity. Dr. Alhaji Bawumia has no chance close to the what? The presidency. And will be a Emma Bawumia be the president. Nana do tifi and ordinary from Bako, Eshe. Sen Kanyankopon be na dom na Alhaji Bawumia ebe so akofuna nim nanka waso wabe president of Ghana. Nanka washa say a man bad advice because me super say adodan kwa nwie na dwem bone na ode I mean how he treated Ghana unfairly no when we entinko benya enka eye Bawumia so enye den bawo data so beto aso. And that kind of behavior, that kind of adene nkoso. It is NPP for we no man this for man handle mu yi na mo make sure say mo chicho mo gun sika no mo di for the past 8 years no man jeje uti sika bi din kura na say sika we etimi ye Ghana kwan yina uti say sika bi din a sika bi timi ye Ghana kwan yina from Accra to Bikurum Northern region chese etimi ye kwan nyina wo kurom ha be ba akofo atene se sika we se be den e na onye yi setam ba akofo atene sika no so e be ye den e na onye yi setam until they are so powerful to the extent that they are even powerful than the states until they don't fear again sika no mo wie guo until say e chechechechechechea ombe se biaba and NDC for say him for omankasa santana se ye mbra ka se pre-bargaining enti na cheso say de nkra na ombaka kwasisa 60% aba na 40% na modi abom bra enti sa oni sa nkofo e makohia e wo university oni sa nkofo e makohia e wo senior high oni sa nkofo e makohia e wo any tertiary institution bia they don't respect you because omuni sabi o papa na o mama an bobra. Meanwhile, your mind sika and more depending on into your mind is so powerful. It's NDC for media may catch them. So what percent 2028 mutina to me so and I said mutina to me a kunyana so I said the muti so ya. Mumbeki sure second of that must come to Ghana and be prosecuted. King of Furata must come to Ghana and be prosecuted. Upon pay Mumfadembra because Sabi. Bra no bu oman no and ye kan sem bia wontie okinufata ye sei che se enem de obi akwa ibe san ne and then we're doing what US so it be my agent omba. They're calling for several times. OSP no meaning Juma Odino Hokise Jabin is one of the annoyed annoyed institutions are he is one of them. Ono Kahubi. OSP, the office of the special prosecutor. What at all is he doing over there? One is only mediato wanted list, mediato JC. No man no. And it is sad. It's NPP for come on to NDC for more mine. Samson NDC for Sebi. Muni Dumedia. Mon chance is a more chichi NPP for no. Momo disika. Or momo adio many sika and they will be prosecuted. And this are 2028. Yanemudi Okrum. Chawajo conversation. Midiana Gamakra. Bye bye.